folks, one of the Redneck Country Podcast. You are on with Real Redneck Todd Millard. Of course, we've got the almost guy, Real Redneck Bill Tom. Bill, are you there?
I'm here, and it's a beautiful night for a podcast.
It is a beautiful night for a podcast. I was outside tonight, so I do know that. I can say it is a beautiful night for a podcast.
Yeah, you finally got released from your duties, and you're out and about today.
Out and about. I've been out and about just a little bit.
That's it.
Yeah, we went down the park, had a good time. We'll get to that. I don't want to
ask you a few questions.
I don't want to jump the gun yet. And then sitting beside me, of course, is the patriarch of Redneck Country, my father, Real Redneck Don Millard. Dad, is your mic hot?
Yep, so am I. I walked over.
But you got an on-sale popsicle, I bet, today.
I just had a nice, cool popsicle, but I'm drinking a hot coffee, so they kind of cancel each other out.
Coffee?
Nice.
Ooh, this is fixing to be a manly podcast, and maybe we don't need our next guest then.
I ran out of my decaf tea. I'm going to get some more.
And backed by popular demand to fill the shoes of the tea drinkers is Bill's wife, Candace. Candace, is your mic hot?
My mic is hot. How are you guys tonight?
We're good.
Yeah, and you're back because we want you here. You're back by popular demand so we can take care of
it. It was
Todd.
really me, Candace. They were like, there's not room for a fourth.
We'd rather listen to you
We
than
don't
Todd,
have time for a fourth.
You have a mission.
And I said,
Candace has a mission tonight, does she?
We need quality.
Yeah, you got to talk more than Todd. We'd rather listen to you.
Oh boy, that's a hard task.
Tell me about it.
Look who's speaking, though. Come on now. Anyway, so we got 4 on, and I'm pumped. And Candace is joining us for the intro.
Yeah, this is something new. I don't have to sit on hold for 5 minutes where you guys have a conversation in my absence. So, that's it. That's all right. So, hey, I want to get right into it.
All right, where are we going?
I want to know from you. Are you like got a midlife crisis going on here? Or
I might.
You might.
It's online. It's this darn social media. It's infectious, Bill. It's infectious.
Is it? All right. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Only if you sing it. Tell me more. Tell me more. Well, so, Candace, you should have been all over that. So, anyway.
You're good.
I take requests.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
I don't know if I've shared this, but I was cleaning out my garage some time ago, and I found my old skateboard from way back in the day. And I said to my daughter, I said, hey, like I was cleaning out stuff and selling it in COVID. It's absolutely ridiculous. I had like some speakers that I had in my car 15 years ago, and I was like, I don't even know. Like they're 15 years old, $75 for two 6-inch, 6.5s and 2 1-inch tweeters. And then the crossovers. I'm like $75. I'll probably take like 50. I was like, I got inundated with messages. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. And I'm like, holy crap. So as I was selling crap, cleaning out and getting rid of stuff that I just have no need to have that in my truck. So I thought
there's a lot of stuff that you have no need for in that truck.
It was a little full last weekend.
Candace, whose side are you on?
Our side.
She's on the side of justice.
Yeah, she's fulfilling
I gotta
the mission.
keep Todd on my side. He was my buddy this weekend via text.
I thought we had a bond. Jeez.
We do.
we do. So anyway, I was cleaning out. I found my old skateboard, not knowing I'm not in the scene anymore, like since I was like 12. And so I found it and I said to my daughter, hey, we should sell it. She's like, hey, she goes, maybe we should. Do you think it's a collectible? I said, you know what? Who cares? Why don't we put it online and say it is? And she's like, yeah, we'll put over like $350. I said, well, if we're going that crazy, let's go like $450. Well, little did I know that the dude whose deck it was, A, it was a very rare deck. B, the dude had just come back from a 20-plus year hiatus or 30-year hiatus of not skateboarding anymore and is lighting up the scene in California, apparently. And
so for all those people that are listening that don't have any clue what a deck is in skateboard lingo terms, that's the wood part, is it not?
it is, but I sold the whole thing, right? Like I had the trucks on it and the wheels and everything else.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So
I just didn't know. Like, I'm not a skateboarder. I know it's an Olympic sport now, and you may be aspiring
it is
to
an
be
Olympic
the first
sport.
Yeah, you first Olympian, but carry on.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't pee in a cup. So anyway.
Oh, there you go.
So I got this thing. I said, we might as well put on 40, 50 and make it up. Like it is rare. Well, little did I know it is, right? So this dude's made a comeback, blah, blah, blah. The deck, because of what it was and the color that it was and the shape, it was still in really good shape, yada, yada, yada. It was everybody saw it. I got guys, and I didn't know this, but I had a guy, I just posted it here and there. And one guy adds me and says, hey, I run a Facebook group and it's huge that are dedicated to just this skater. So I'm going to add you to it. Post that deck. He says, I can't afford it, but post it. There's going to be guys all over you. And I'm like, what? Like, where did this come from? I'm like, whatever. Add me up, dude. So I put it on. I ended up getting 2 fishing reels. So the kid that I traded for, I got 2 fishing reels. I got $225 cash, and I got a $400 brand new 1/2-inch impact 20-volt cordless impact wrench, case and all, for this skateboard. But since then, I've been added to all these stinking groups because of this. And so I've been watching, and you get ads like the guitar thing. Are you a dabbler? Are you a guitar player? That I talked about previous podcasts. So I keep getting all these ads, and it's just kind of like, So then my youngest was watching, and she's like, hey, I could do that. And I'm like, I like that attitude. So I dug out some more skateboards, and we've now been hitting the skateboarding. So I got to tell you, though, I'm not going to say it's age, but I did roll my ankle tonight. I might be limping just a little bit, but I've had problems with that ankle in the past. I'm just going to tape it. Like I said on the post that I made that prompted you to say this is, hey, I survived bull riding. What's skateboarding? Give me a break.
Yeah, well, there's a whole lot of questions I have, but I think this journey is going to lead us down many interesting podcast topics. Dude, for the first time you decide to do something. There's
this dude that he's genius. He's a pro skater, yada, yada, yada. But he realized the lessons required, that because like the way you learn, and it's why I quit when I was younger, is you go to the skate park and there's like a couple kids that really excel, and then you look like a clown. So you're like, screw this, that guy makes me look like an idiot, I'm out. So this guy made an app now, and now he gives you step-by-step instructions on every trick, bit by bit by bit
really?
by bit. Oh my gosh, it's so detailed.
I think my son would like this.
And dude,
I was just about to say the same thing.
Oh, I'll tell you what, and it's not even like, it is amazing. And like, it's like $40 for the year. And then you get all of these. Plus, he's got a weekly TV show on the app. You got to have the app to watch it. It's like a 20-minute skateboarding TV show. And the dude's really nice, really funny. And like, it's freaking amazing because all these people are posting on there the success stories from his teaching. And you think, well, yeah, but you go to the skate park, a guy will be just like, this is how you do it. No. This guy breaks it down, video, slow-mo, and stops and gives you and tells you what order to do everything and try this. This sounds stupid. You're going to feel like an idiot just sitting there doing this, but this repetitive motion will build muscle memory, and then boom, you'll be able to do it. And like, dude, it works. I nailed a kickflip last night, no problem. Rolled right on out.
And today you gave us a sore ankle. So
yeah, well, I moved on the app.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you haven't peaked too early, have you? This kickflip isn't the extent of your learning, and now it's all downhill from here.
Well, he keeps saying, "Don't give up." The app tells me, "Don't give up." I can't give up. Yeah,
he doesn't want you to give up.
Yeah, don't give up.
Yeah.
So now, but Avery took to it like she needs that kind of out, especially with the COVID crap going on, but that kind of thing for her, because she is like got so much energy and just wants to go. And like, I try to be like, okay, let's try trap shooting there. Let's go shoot the 22. And like, that's fun when you're pulling the trigger, but there's all that in between downtime. Yeah, you could chuck that out the window. You got to keep her attention. This, I got her, I little skateboard. Like I used to skate a huge, then I went to a small. So I had the small 7.5-inch deck, and it for 8-year-olds, they say that's what I had no idea. So I'm like, hey, to like, at least try it. If you like it, maybe I'll get you a new one. She's taken to this thing like a fish to water, man. And she's the one at lunchtime. She comes down, helmet on, hold the board. Dad, we go outside for lunch. She's ready to rock. We just got back from the park.
That's good.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it should be excelling, and Mama's going to be a little bit nervous while she's. She can. Yeah, I guarantee you. Did Jen seen her skateboard yet?
Yeah, she came down the park with us and sat there and watched. The first night, my other daughter has juvenile arthritis, so she was just riding up and down on mine, and we had I had to carry her back in the house because her ankle, she's got a bad ankle, it rolled. So that was pandemonium last night. So tonight, went down the park, and she just sat with Mom, and Avery rode around inside the tennis courts.
There you go.
But like an hour.
I'm anxious to hear some more stories of your skateboarding life.
I'm gonna have to start another podcast. Let's just see how it goes.
Yeah, I know this is morphing into something.
I should say
never
the app though. It's Braille skateboarding. BRAILLE. And it's amazing. I tell you what, and the dude is pretty cool. But I found it because I keep getting these ads on Facebook.
And then you learn how to play the guitar too. So
I'm not a dabbler. I'm a guitar player.
Yeah. That's a story for another time.
Anyway.
So Don, what'd you get up to this weekend? Now I'm just going to jump right over Todd's skateboarding story.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Some hunting and fishing related.
Well, that's it, right? So I got nothing to do. I got to wait. I can't fish right now. I can't next weekend. So, yeah.
Actually, I didn't do a whole lot.
Well, that's great. What'd you do, Bill?
You can smack him. He hasn't been hit on a podcast in a long time. I think he needs a slipper or something there.
Yeah, no kidding. I was going to ask him to hand me that in fisherman, and I'll look through the magazine until he's done talking.
We're saving that for the cottage.
Oh, well, I can look at it now because I got lots of time here. Anyway, Friday, Todd and Jen were both off, and they decided to go to London with the kids. So we got invited along, my wife and I. So we had a great day.
We had a week moment.
We hit a couple surplus stores and ate out. So that was a good day. And then usually at the end of May, because all through the winter and then comes spring, the whole month of May is turkey season. And then by that time, my truck really needs cleaning inside and out. It's been through all the seasons, right from September, right through to November deer, right through winter rabbits.
Mine too.
And right through spring turkey. And I was so busy with like coming here with the kids and doing things in the yard, and I didn't get a chance to clean it. And I finally did this week. I finally got it washed, waxed. I got it vacuumed. I got the vinyl all polished with the vinyl restorer. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I went out and opened the door and just looked in there and enjoyed the look because it hasn't been that way since last May.
Enjoyed the look.
It's awesome.
Nothing's better than a freshly cleaned vehicle inside and out.
Detailed and everything.
I wouldn't know, nor do I care.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I was really pleased with that.
But then you get somewhere and you're like, crap, I just cleaned my truck. Like, hey, all right, we're going to load up the decal. Where's my trigger lock keys? Oh, I just cleaned my truck.
All you need to do is check your garage.
You're laughing because it's funny because it's freaking true.
No, not for me. You're the only one that's like that, Todd.
Everything's in that truck. What truck do you want to take hunting? Well, I've got to take mine because everything's in mine. And if I didn't take mine, I'll be driving back here to get it.
No, I'm not like
I'm kind of surprised. I think when we went goose hunting in the fall, we went in your truck, Todd.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm just trying to figure out how my brother and I both got in that truck.
Yeah, you probably wrecked all the garbage I had in there, kicking it around. I don't know yet. I haven't gone and looked.
I'm sorry. You said what, Bill? You and your brother what?
They rode in my truck when we went goose hunting.
Oh, yeah. And
I just can't figure out how we did that based on the way that truck looks now.
You guys seen it at the provincials. I had to load flats of shells in there. I had to have clothes, change of clothes. I had to have my cooler with food.
You had a whole suitcase of clothes.
We had to buy a trailer.
I didn't say how many changes of clothes.
We had to buy a trailer for the decoys and everything because the back is full of junk, like the pickup bed. There's nobody looked in there.
It's
hopefully.
spotless now. I did. I backed up to a fireplace, just shoveled it all in.
I'll tell you.
It is spotless. Had to for my kayak.
In his truck, you kick the pop cans out of the way, you move the papers, and and cords and.
Nobody cares about this.
To sit down.
I thought we were moving on. This wasn't about me. Remember?
No, it's always
can't help
about
yourselves.
you.
Can't help
it's
yourselves.
Just not letting you talk. It's telling the truth. That's the thing.
Oh, I do have to ask though.
Oh, I don't like this.
Did you get any trail cam pictures that are of deer yet? Last podcast we talked about, and if everybody saw it, Todd put a really cool picture on the front that I saw right at the very beginning with all the mosquitoes on it because of what there was. And in that was some talk about trail camera pictures. Have you got anything?
I've got pictures.
On your hit list?
I've got it. That depends. Are does on our hit list?
Yeah, sure.
I haven't got. So here's the deal. I'm now afraid that the one trail camera that I put out, the second one, if you listen to that podcast, you'll know why there's mosquitoes on the cover of that podcast. And the last one I put out where I broke the strap and I had to do it. I was running through the woods in circles trying to get the strap put back through the trail camera, get it back on the tree and everything. I think I might have knocked the batteries because I've not got one picture and it is in what I thought was the high traffic areas. So I got to go back out. But the other one, I am getting pictures.
If it was in a high traffic area, you weren't getting pictures of deer, you get pictures of something.
Well, I think the batteries are out of the camera. Right. Yeah. Like I just think it's... So I am getting pictures on the other, but nothing that I would get excited over.
Yeah.
There's lots of deer.
Well,
lots of deer.
I mean, that's the hazards of putting trail cameras out, like we've talked about many times in the past.
And I did say
you get disappointed, right?
Yeah, well, that's it. Now I'm like, am I even going to hunt that spot? And now I might miss a huge monster buck because he didn't walk by my trail camera. But I did say that I wasn't certain because of the growth, because I spotted that spot in turkey season. I spotted it in late deer in the snow and you could see the deer tracks. And of course there is no bushes or weeds or anything growing up. Right. So it looked like a highway. When I went back to put the trail camera out there, because I thought that's where I'm putting one of my stands, it was so grown up I could barely get into the spot. And when I got in there, I'm looking, going, holy crap, it's so grown up. I don't know if deer are going to be going by this, but it is a highway. I am getting lots of deer. It's just not the right ones. I don't assume their gender, Bill. I'm not that guy.
No, you don't.
But I wouldn't shoot these ones that are walking by my camera.
I understand. The headgear is a little bit missing.
Yeah, that's correct.
But you never know. The year Bill shot his big deer out behind our place, we didn't see a single buck on the camera the whole time it was up. We saw raccoons swinging off the hanging bait like they were Miley Cyrus, but no bucks.
They came in like a raccoon. You got to sing that when you say that, Candace.
Yeah.
I'll leave the singing to you, Todd. It's all yours.
I appreciate it. You can't steal too much of my thunder.
All right, I'll try not to.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing a raccoon swinging on it. That's
camera
awesome.
that year.
So yeah, didn't have them on the trail camera, right? So you might not even, if you got discouraged, that's why I said it's the curse of the freaking trail cameras. You put one there and you got a monster and you're like, that's it. And then you get obsessed with hunting that spot, or you put one there and you don't have a monster. And then you get like, well, I'm not going to hunt that spot. And really the trail cameras don't tell the whole story.
I was out filling a doe tag that day. That's what my goal was to fill a doe tag when that big ticket walked out and I punched it. So yeah, you never know. I mean, I wouldn't get discouraged yet. Anyways, I mean, they could be scared in the area. You could have, I don't know, put the trail camera in and knock the batteries out. And you're right. Maybe it's just nothing.
I think
coming past or everything's coming past. You're just not being able to see it.
Jen keeps bugging me to go back for another walk in the woods. So we'll have to do it tomorrow night or the next night.
You probably should. It'd be a good date night for the two of you to go out there in Mosquito Alley again.
Avery's looking at me, shaking her head. Nope. She is definitely not begging me to go for a walk in the woods.
Don, did he offer to put up a trail camera in your spot? Did you?
What's that?
Did he offer to put up a trail camera in your spot?
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean?
You built him 2 nice tree stands, and he didn't even offer to put up one of his 10 trail cameras in your spot?
Where are you going with this?
I'm asking questions. I'm keeping things loose and off the cuff here.
All right, Candace, as Bill would say to my dad, if you're close enough, smack him.
I'm not. I'm sitting out on the hunting shed deck, just looking out over the fields, and I'm on my own here.
So not close enough to smack him.
I was going to say.
No, not close enough to smack him.
I asked the question again. Todd Millard, would it not be the fatherly son thing to do, the son thing to do to set your dad up with a nice trail camera?
Maybe I have one out there
where
that
he's thinking.
You're ruining my surprise. Maybe, Bill.
Maybe. Oh.
Maybe I even got a feeder out there.
I don't think he's worried about it because I don't do a lot of bow hunting, but muzzle loading season.
Yeah, 3 days a year.
If it's brown is down, so it doesn't matter what's out there. Whatever comes by is going in the freezer.
Yeah, where Dad sits, because he's building this big permanent blind.
Hopefully.
So I am going to repay him by building this. I'm certain I'm going to have to help him build this permanent blind, so, especially if I want to get it done before they affect my deer season. So I'm going to have to repay him that way. But he pretty much, where he hunts, he knows where the deer walk. He's not going to another spot. He's going to hunt this fixed blind. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he would not, and he would not wait and pass up a doe if something with big headgear to wait for something with big headgear to come walking by.
Now I got the 2 spots I hunt. I know that where the deer walk by and where I'm going to see them and where they're going to come from, and so it's just a matter of
or where to guide me to go push so they run right to me.
So what you got to do?
Sitting there one day and they set up a little push, and so I was choreographing the push. I could see where they went over the hill. I could see the guy coming along the top and how they interacted. And they had 6 deer come right to me. It was just a matter of picking the one I wanted. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
It makes for a good hunt when it all comes together like that.
Yeah.
But
so I don't know which way to go first, Bill or Candace. Bill, we'll save the best for last. So, Bill, what did you? We got the longevity of the podcast and the listening audience to keep them hooked. So, sorry, Candace. I'm going to go to Bill first. Okay. Bill,
that's okay.
What did you do this week?
I tell you what, this week was a great week. We had all kinds of stuff going on here at the Thom household, and there was no shortage of opportunities to share pictures and experiences and fun. But I went fishing. The highlight was going fishing yesterday. Yesterday, I guess, eh?
It was.
With my son at Upper Big Shoot. So we put the boat in motion again. Everything that has come together into the fishing redneck yacht there, it just all worked out. And we fished Upper Big Shoot a couple weeks ago, and we kind of messed up a little bit by not being able to get on the water until about 8 o'clock in the morning. But this time I did a bunch of research, and I looked and I scoured the lake, and I found a marina that is quite a ways up the lake than I launched at originally. And 24-hour launch, it's paid on the honor system. There's a little envelope, or a mail slot. You put your $10 in for the launch, and then $10 on the way out, just to make sure that you paid. And parking, I contacted a local guy that lived right next door to the marina. I found out who he was. And
did you really? And asked him if you could park there?
I did, yeah.
I wonder, did he say how many calls he gets?
No, he didn't. I got his number now, and I'm first on his call list. That's for sure. Based on, the fact that he was such a great guy to deal with, and the lady who owned the marina said it was a municipal parking lot that was a 5-minute walk away from where I launched the boat. I'm like, there's got to be other options other than that one. And she says, well, my neighbor here, and I won't say his name because I don't want to give away my prime spot, said, you can give him a call, and for $10 all day parking, you can park on his lawn. I'm like, that's fantastic. How far is it? She says, well, I can see it from here. It's less than 300 meters from my front porch. I'm like, perfect. So I called him up, and then he sent me a picture of the parking spot that he had reserved for me. Honor system again. You take the $10, you put it in an envelope, and you put it on a predetermined spot, which was inside the barbecue. So, and he wasn't even there. So Hunter and I launched the boat. We were on the water by 7:00 in the morning, and off on the water we went. So, yeah, it was a great experience. Launched the boat like a champ. You know, I'm just getting the hang of backing this boat up into tight spaces, and so we get the boat and we launch, and you know, Hunter he's learning, and we launch the boat, and I get things all set up and going, and I get out in the middle of the channel, and I hit the throttle and full throttle, and the motor dies. I'm like, this isn't good. Yeah, motor dies. So then I started up again, and you know, I think, okay, maybe I don't know what it was. It's early in the morning. I hit the full throttle again, motor dies. I'm thinking, okay, now we've got a problem.
You got to choke that thing, Bill.
I grab the anchor, throw the anchor out, and I just start thinking for about 10 seconds there, and I punch the primer bulb, and it wasn't getting any pressure to it. So
pause. Did Hunter pick up a fishing pole and start fishing while you were doing that?
He was just trying to stay out of the way because he thought I was going to get mad and throw him overboard or something. But I wasn't that upset. I was close enough to the shore that I could have dropped trolling motor and we would have been back to shore in no time. But I found out I had a pinch fuel line. So, you know, the gas tank shifted on the drive and pinched the fuel line. And
sounds like a design flaw.
Any pressure. No design flaws. There is no design flaws in the Redneck yacht. Everything works the way it was supposed to, including the fishing poles. And so we get going, and then I realize, you know, in an almost guy fashion, the waypoints that I put on are a heck of a lot farther than I thought they were. So we ended up getting to them eventually, but we fished a couple spots leading up to that because I wasn't going on a half an hour boat ride to get to the spots. They look closer on the map, you know.
It's only an inch away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, he does 1 mile per inch.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. I'm 25 kilometers or 26 kilometers an hour is max speed.
You conserve gas that way.
What's that?
You conserve gas that way. Pinch the fuel line, move an inch a mile or a mile per inch. You're good to go.
We're good to go. But yeah, we did okay. You know, I mean, everything worked exactly the way I anticipated it. We got to a couple spots, and I flipped some wacky rigs.
I was going to say, okay, tell me, because I got pictures and I was like, yes. Yeah. So I'm going away this weekend for the week. We're going to a cottage. And so I'm like solid stuck on wacky worm, but you tell me what you caught these bad boys on, and cause it might dictate what I go to the tackle shop and buy before I'm taken off to the cottage.
So a couple of things, what I would recommend. I mean,
first off, species, largemouth bass, right?
Oh yeah, large and smallies. I was large and smallmouth bass. I caught one. The keepers, I brought three fish home. We can get into that in a few minutes, but it was one largemouth, two smallmouth, and but I was catching fish on the wacky rig.
What color worm?
Back up just a second. I typically never ever fish with live bait. Never. I haven't fished with live bait in so long. I can't remember the last time I went to the bait shop to buy anything. But I thought, you know what? I'd like to try leeches.
Oh, how do you put them on the hook?
This is where we go.
I've never fished with them, but I know guys do, and I'm like, I don't want those things touching me when I'm swimming. Why would I want to intentionally put my hand in there? I'm with you, Todd. Right?
So I learned a couple of things. Live bait has got way more expensive than it was when I used to be buying leeches. They were $15 a dozen for leeches. So that I bought 2 dozen, and I used. They're used for
medical reasons too. I mean, if you got bit by a snake out there, you could just slap them on, and you're good to go, right?
That's what I was
Sucks
worried
the poison
about.
Right out.
Yep, I was really worried about the fact that if I was out there in the middle of the water, I would get bit by a snake.
No lie. Hey, happens to kayakers all the time.
No doubt, water snakes coming up and living inside their boat, but. But I tried the salted tube jig and a leech is what was my go-to bait on Lake Erie. I'd fish anywhere from 8 to 15 feet of water, maybe a little bit deeper, depending if the storm came in or blew out. And salted tube jig and a leech, and I would hammer them all day long.
And a leech.
Oh,
how did you rig it?
So tube jig, just with the weight on the inside, and you tube weight, which right around the eyelet has got a weighted lead piece.
It's right on the shaft, right? So it's inside the tube. Yeah.
That's
and
correct.
then the hook comes out and hangs up on the top side of the tube.
That's correct. So, and then on the hook, you tip that with a leech. So leech got a little sucker on the body.
Oh, and you put the hook that basically salted right tube jig.
Yeah, salted tube jig. I tell you what, right now is a go-to bait, no matter where you're fishing, whether it's Lake Simcoe or Upper Big Shit or wherever. But you got to get your depth right, and you got to get your color right, which I'll get into in a second here. But
and
salted
speed.
Tube jig and a leech. What's that?
And fish it slow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you fish it slow. Long cast away from the boat, because you don't want the fish. They don't bite under the boat. There's a shadow. Anyways, long story short, long casts, rock surfaces, going from shallow to deep, and they just eat them up. So I didn't really do much fishing with the leeches, to be honest with you, because I wasn't having the success I thought I was going to.
You didn't like them. Touching them.
It didn't bother me. My son, on the other hand, that was funny.
How do you put a leech on a hook?
So the leech got a little sucker on them where they would latch on to you or the boat or something else. Mm-hmm. And you put the hook right through there, and then you feed it back onto the body somewhere. So you hook them twice. And then it'll the tail end is long enough that it'll just swim behind it.
And then you hook them again down further on their body.
Yeah, somewhere. Just, half an inch or less. Down the body, just so that and the best part about a leech over a worm is they're resilient. When you get little fish that are pulling your worms, they'll rip them apart, where they won't really rip a leech apart the same, so they last longer. What's that?
Candace was whispering. I'm assuming not to you.
Candace was whispering.
Violet was asking questions.
Well, good. I thought she was trying to whisper the next line in my head or something. I can think for myself,
I know you can, but our children, can't seem to keep themselves occupied all the time.
So yeah, Hunter was nervous because he reads too much and he's scared of spiders. I don't know who's scared of spiders.
Yeah, no, sounds like a smart kid to me.
Yeah,
they're not from this world. They're not natural. 8 eyes, 8 legs. It ain't natural.
Yeah, well, leeches are the same thing. Well, he's like, I can't touch that. What happens if it latches on? It'll never come off. I've seen it on the TV. I'm like, they'll suck your blood instantly. It'll be this and it's so hard. Hunter, take it easy. It's okay. He overthinks everything. I don't know where he gets that from, but he overthinks everything. And he, by the halfway through the morning, he was right into it. But he's still.
That tree wasn't planted on a hill.
Yeah. So he caught a few fish, but he was getting super frustrated because when I was trying to teach him to keep tension on the line, he'd hook a fish and then he'd lose tension on the line and the fish would come off. And he was getting frustrated. And I was not letting up on him at all. I was catching fish after fish after fish and rubbing it in every single chance
He's
I got.
That almost guy was catching fish after fish after fish, and he's not even here to defend himself.
No, but that's okay. I'm sure he would stand up for what was right and tell you the truth of the story there. And the almost guy did pretty good on Sunday, that's for sure.
Right on. And, so do you know total how many you boated?
Oh, there had to be 100.
Are you kidding me?
100, huh?
Well, I mean, it's a fish story. I got to tell you.
Candace, you're welcome anytime you want.
I don't know. We fished. We got on the water. We were on the water at about 7 by the time I got the motor messed around. I would say we fished until probably 1 o'clock, off and on, hitting spots. And I probably caught 30, but no major size. There was a lot of little 1 pounders and pound and a half. Great fight. They would hit that either tube jig or the wacky rig, like a ton of bricks, and you think you'd have something, and all of a sudden this little wee tiny thing comes up, and I was like, you felt a lot bigger in the water than you look coming into my boat. That's for sure. So
that's half the excitement.
Yeah, no, it was great. We had a good time, and then I did the best thing that I did in this boat so far was I put her back on the trailer in front of probably 30 people sitting in the restaurant without even having a single problem at all.
But how long did it take you? Were you nervous as heck? Were you shaking?
Yeah, honestly, I'm over it. I've done it a couple of times now. I had to back it down a narrow driveway and into a narrow wee little launch. And it all worked flawlessly, not one little bit of problem. And everybody watched, and I thought, yep, that's the almost guy in the redneck yacht right there, with fish in the live well heading back home. So.
Did you stand there and shout through the windows at him? That's how you do it.
Yeah. Anybody wants lessons? So, yeah, that was it. We got home. We cleaned some fish yesterday, and had a great day. So
right on.
Yesterday was a good day for us Thom folk.
Sounds good. Yeah, because I know what Candace did, and I'm actually really impressed. I even said to my wife, I said, "Holy crap, she's actually going." So I get up Sunday morning. I'll do the lead in. I get up Sunday morning,
All right.
and I'm working out because I woke up, couldn't go back to sleep, and I thought, okay, I got to do a whole bunch of videos. My family, my daughter, and that they're supposed to. It ends up being me if I'm not at the front speaking, running the videos and making sure everything's cool and rocking at church. So my mother emails me all of the songs, because right now under COVID, we're not allowed to sing hymns in the church. So to supplement that, yeah. And the church is really probably above and beyond on their COVID protocol, just because of, I'm assuming all the congregations of our church are following the lead, that they're overcautious. The demographics at church are older folks, obviously. And so they're very overcautious. So we're not singing yet. So we're allowed in, got to wear a mask, but you're not singing. So Mom's been hammering video after video. So I got to download and put them on a thumb drive, take them over, get them all queued up and everything. So when I woke up early, I thought now's a great time to get my workout in. So while I'm doing that, I get a text message and I'm like, who the heck is up on a Sunday morning texting me? That doesn't normally happen. And so come to find out, Candace had gone to Toronto International. All I know it is by its nickname.
Trap and Skeet Club.
Trap and Skeet. So Tits. So Candace went to Tits, and because there's a big ATA shoot, and so she's like, "Hey, I'm at Tits." I'm like, "What? You actually went?" And I knew she was talking about it, so I'm like, "That's so wicked." So I was then obviously, hey, who's there? Is anybody talking to you? This is amazing, right? Because you know as well as I do, Bill, Dad, you can back me up. If a newer shooter woman shows up at any gun club, let me tell you who the most welcome person at a gun club is going to be. Am I wrong?
No, everybody wants to help.
So there will be no lack of attention or instruction given. Trust me, you will feel more welcome than anywhere on. You will feel more welcome than a hair salon if you're a woman and you show up to a gun club. Full stop. So I said, well, you're not going to have a problem. So anyway, yeah. So she went. So that's my prelude to Candace. So you can take it from there, Candace. What did you do this week?
What did I do? Well, my terrified little self decided that I was going to go and sign up for this shoot. I've only ever been to the provincials last week.
Her first ATA shoot. Yeah, we're going to go shoot the provincials. For anybody in the U.S. was in the state championships. Yeah, why not?
but last week I wasn't really nervous because I had Bill, I had you, Todd, I had Don, I had our other friend Bill, and we were all on a squad together, and it was just fun. Like whatever happened, and it was just going to be a fun day. But then yesterday, Bill was fishing with our son Hunter. You guys had your things down there. So if I was going, I had to go all by myself. So,
So, but you're used to doing the manly stuff by yourself because you're married to Bill. So, but anyway, carry on.
Please.
I wasn't completely by myself. So I had my youngest daughter, Violet, with me. So all the attention, when you have a cute little 8-year-old blonde with you, it all goes there. She was offered water and freezies and do you need bug spray? Everybody was super sweet, actually, when we got there. And yep, she even got compliments on her hat. And
that's awesome.
But no, I went. I had to figure out where to register. And then, of course, I had to wait for a while because the gentleman who was doing it was busy fixing a trap at the time. So we're standing there and a few people came and said hello. And I managed to get myself registered. And they're like, just singles? You don't want to do the handicap or the doubles? I'm like, nope, just singles. So, and because I was there by myself, they started a whole new squad. Just put little old me on there. They're like, what spot do you want? And I was like, I just don't want to be first. I'm like, how about second or third? He's like, I'll put you third. I'm like, all right. When my squad gets called up, there's only one other person on the squad at that time. And of course, he took the fourth position, so I was first. I was like, one thing I didn't want.
So now you're lead off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lead off. We're on the trap field, like right in front of the office. So I'm a new shooter. I'm a new woman shooter. I'm right in front of the office. So I had a crowd. And let's just say the first round did not go spectacular at all. Yeah.
We don't even have to mention score. I know what it is. I got a text after the first round. That didn't go well.
No. I went 3 for 25. I'm not afraid of it.
That's all right. I think, you know what I think? I think our youngest daughter was harder on you than you were.
Yeah, she's a tough critic, that one there.
Is she giving you tips?
No, I came off. She's like, that was not good. I was like, yep, you're right.
I love it. But I know I'm sitting there and you said that to me and I'm like, I was at church running the videos and so I had time. So I'm like, that is not Candace. That's not because you were rolling last weekend.
Yeah, I haven't shot great, but I've never shot that bad.
Yeah.
You got to think what was against her there. And I'm not making excuses because she doesn't need to have excuses made for her.
I get it. You have to do this. This is the obligatory husband conversation. Or you're going to be sleeping right where you're sitting.
It's kind of comfortable here, but I like my bed. So she's super proud. I'm going fishing. And when I left to go fishing in the morning, I didn't know she was going to go. So I got the text message partially through the morning, maybe about, 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever time it was. Hey, I'm going to go shooting today. Awesome. Go. Enjoy. We already had everything loaded up because we had ended up going to the gun clubs the day before just to sign up and get our memberships. Because, we talked about it in a previous podcast. We can't do a whole lot of shooting with COVID or any shooting because of we're not a member of our local club. So we decided, Candace and I, we got up and on Saturday and we decided to go to the club and we had everything all ready, but we couldn't shoot because we weren't members yet. So we signed up, got our membership application process started. So she had everything ready. I'm like, go, enjoy, have a great day. And I'll let her carry on with her story there, but yeah, super proud.
And I said that to Jen. I'm like, can you believe Candace is going to? And Jen's like, yeah, why not? And I'm like, what? Like that's nerve wracking for me.
It is. I came off
going to the line and you've just had to go through the sign up, nobody. Now you're shooting lead off on a 2-person squad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. When the other person on the squad was not happy about this situation at all and was not exactly trying to hide it. So he was complaining to the guy running the shoot about that it was ridiculous, but we got through it. We did it. I came off, and actually the gentleman, Steve, that was running it at Toronto International came over and told me not to worry about it. He gave me a couple tips. And and everything, and didn't really have too much time to overthink it, which is probably best for me anyway, because we went right on into the next one. And then from there, it went so much better. If only I could have redone that first 25, but still not stellar. But I went from 3 to 14 to 17 to 16. So I was pretty happy with how it progressed.
Got rolling. Yep.
So, and we got to teach Violet about, certain things not to tell Mom just as she's walking up to start a round. Because my last round, she had gone to get something out of the car, and just as I'm about to walk up, and she's like, I locked the keys in the car. I'm like, okay, just don't shut the trunk, because I was going to put her through there. But apparently she didn't. We found out after that she just didn't pull the handle hard enough. And
oh my gosh.
But yeah, as I'm walking up to the line, she's like, I locked the keys in the car. I'm like, great, okay, have a seat. I'll be there in a minute.
That's okay. You're a woman in distress, surrounded by a bunch of men at a gun club. You're going to do just fine.
We solved it ourselves. Thank you. But no, it was good. And I made sure I went up and thanked the Steve that was running it. And the ladies in the office were super sweet to check in on Violet, even though she was just sitting on the bench behind like the trap field each time. But they were checking on her and everything. So it was a good experience. It really was. So that's awesome. And they did add 2 more shooters for the next 3 rounds.
For the last 75.
4, and I wasn't lead off anymore. So
right on. So you did well, and you had a blast.
I did, for sure.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, it's getting it on those little wee tiny branches and doing something new. And like I said, super proud of the fact that I don't need to be there. You don't need to be. She went out and did it and rocked. In the first round, I guarantee it was just all nerves in the situation, and the fact that she set herself up mentally, and the second and third and fourth round, like you said, she just rolled on and had a great day and came back from fishing, and she was just nothing but smiles with the experience. So,
well, and it was. Like I was texting Bill throughout this, but I was texting Todd like every single round. And so to have somebody to, even though I didn't necessarily have somebody I knew there with me, it was really helpful, Todd, that you put up with me texting back and forth.
I was having a blast.
Yeah.
I was just astounded. I thought it was awesome. So there's so many women out there, I bet, that would not go. They'd want their friend with them or have that support system, right? And you
trust me, I was thinking about it.
But that's so you just proved it right there. Yeah. You proved that you could just show up to a gun club. You're going to be welcome. And I tell you what, I ain't kidding. You are not going to be more welcome anywhere in the world than at a gun club. Guaranteed. I tell you, those women at those at the hair salons, they get gossiping there. The dudes at the gun club too busy gossiping about each other that you're the rock star.
Yeah. No, I was really proud of you. I thought that was excellent. I'm looking forward to hearing some of your exploits and go to some future ATA shoots. You'll have your targets and your new average before you know it.
Hope so. Thank you. It was fun. I'm really enjoying it so far. Like just getting started, but it was a lot of fun. And like I said, kind of terrified in the morning, but I'm glad I pushed myself to do it. I'm pretty good at talking myself out of things from time to time, but I'm glad I pushed myself and did it this time. And
well, I'm going to throw a gauntlet down and say, I've only got one 25 straight patch left. Just saying.
Todd, you don't need to worry about it. I can't find shells.
What do you mean you can't find shells?
Yeah, I went online today. I wanted to get some of those.
I told you where. Did you call where I told you to call? I'm not going to say it online because it's our spot to get it.
because everybody go. But no, I didn't call there. There's a local spot right around the corner from where I work that I just found that sells ammunition, and they wanted like $2 more a box that I can get the Fort Cabela's. But Cabela's wasn't selling flats; they were selling individual boxes. And for those, I want to buy like 6 flats.
Got to go to the importers. The guy's bringing them in.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. I need to get the in on some of those because it would two reasons. One, I think the price might be a little bit cheaper if I buy in bulk.
Absolutely.
Now that I have 2 shooters in the house, it's double the ammunition. So I'm not sure what Pandora's box I've opened here on the bank account.
Don't go back to reloading. I'll tell you that much.
Well, there's the other thing, though. I have
in Candace, you just lock them in the basement.
Yeah, and all I do,
it puts the shells through the hole.
I think the only thing I did wrong on Saturday getting her set up was I didn't give her enough boxes of shells in the bag so that she could have shot her handicap if she wanted to. Next time,
and I said to her, "You shooting the caps now?" She's like, "I didn't bring enough shells."
Yeah, that's my fault. I only packed her 6 boxes of shells because that's all we were thinking about doing on Saturday when we get to the club, just a few rounds each. But if I had been thinking, I would have packed 8 to give her the option so she couldn't have talked herself out of the caps.
Well, are you hitting the Canadians this weekend?
Are they this weekend or next weekend?
Are they next? Oh yeah, they're next week. Yeah, good call. Are you hitting the Canadians in a week?
I don't think so.
No,
2 weeks.
I don't think so. I think we're going to pass on the Canadians this year, but we're definitely going to go. She's 100 targets ahead of me on her average right now for the last 2 years. So I got to pick up my socks here and
put down the tee. Pick up the gun.
I tell you, I made her clean her own gun yesterday too. I didn't make her; she wanted to clean her own gun.
And she said, "Okay, got to clean my gun." I'm like, "Bill's making you do that, isn't he?"
Yeah. Don't
too
take
funny.
that cadence from Todd.
I just cleaned my gun.
Come on.
Yeah. I figured I had the stock and everything off it. I might as well just spray something in it.
Yeah, well, the hamsters and stuff come running out saying
the spiders, they're not natural. I realize you got to take it apart every now and then. Get them out of there.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that you've joined the club and you're going to shoot more, and that means you're probably going to get down for some of our ATA shoots when they open up. So that's awesome.
There's no question in my mind. Yeah, that we're coming down to visit you guys more. Now that that it was never a question whether she enjoyed it or not. I'm speaking for you, but there was never a question whether you enjoyed it or not. It's just now, hopefully, we can get more opportunity, right?
That's awesome. Chauvinistic that you spoke for her, but that's awesome.
Well, she won't feel that way at every shoot. She'll get to know more and more people. Like she met Emily and she met Sandra down at St. Thomas, and so they'll be at all the ATA shoots, and so you'll have someone in common to visit with, and that's
sure
great. Yeah,
so
that's super.
Right.
There you go. So more fun and adventures for this weekend planned, but we can get to that in another podcast.
Absolutely. Got lots of stuff coming up. Pretty pumped. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Candace. Thank you for saving me from the old onslaught of these two.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your exploits even further. You should come on more often.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's lots of fun chatting with you guys.
Don't take it personally, Bill, but if you do, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'll sit here. If you guys just need me, if you need me, I'll be here. That's it.
Yeah. Are you feeling parched, Candace? Would you like to drink? Bill, would you get her a drink?
Yeah. Coming years.
Oh, that's so awesome. I could rile your wedding up. Rough, your marriage, I could just poke some. I could have some fun.
Yeah.
Antagonist Toddy.
Thanks again, gentlemen. Until next time.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.
All right,
awesome.
Take care.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
And that'll do it for this week, folks. For the Redneck Country Podcast, I'm Bill, the Almost Guy Tom.
And I'm Todd. And thanks for listening. And folks, if you want to be part of the podcast or you want to give us some feedback or really contact us about anything, feel free to email us at podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Again, that's podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Thanks for listening. Talk to you again next week.